cold in here. My nose won't stop running, so you're welcome. Hi friends. Bit of a different setup today. I honestly didn't feel like dragging my desk out and setting it all up. Plus, it's a beautiful, gorgeous day outside. I wanted to take advantage of some of this natural light, doing my best to offset the shadow. We'll see what it looks like in post. I just felt like being cozy and being on my couch, but also knowing that I haven't uploaded anything in a week, so we gotta do something about that. So here we are. I've got a cup of tea. I am camped out on my couch here. Yes, I already have makeup on my face, and that is because today's video is going to be a beauty trash video. Yes, it is that time again. Not like I have these on a schedule. I'm pretty sure I just do them whenever I feel like it. But we've got quite a sizable amount of trash in here of the beauty variety. So while I wait for certain things to arrive in the mail, I figured this is a good way to kill some time. So grab your favorite chenille sweater that matches your favorite velvet couch and grab a cup of hot beverage. Let's talk about garbage. Let's just get started. I don't know, let me know what you think of this setup, because normally if it's a gorgeous day like this, I have to draw all my blinds so that I can just set up my lighting. Also, let me know if you want a tutorial on this. It's very similar to something I've already done on the channel. I will link it up here. See, this is what happens when you get on TikTok for 3 hours straight. I don't think I looked at that app for maybe 9 months because I knew as soon as I reopened it, it would be an evening or a very early morning. 3 hours later, I reemerge and realize that everyone's doing wing liner again. So I'm feeling like I'm overcompensating a little today. Anyway, so this is probably just under a year's worth of beauty trash that I've accumulated. We're just gonna get into it. I'm just gonna start pulling things randomly. So in no particular order, why don't we start with this. This is the Hemp's Body Moisturizer. This is in the sweet pineapple and honey melon scent. Listen, I know everyone and their dog has told you at one point or another to go out and buy this. I'm just gonna tell you right now that everyone who has told you this isn't lying to you. I cannot say enough good things about this body lotion. I love the smell. It is like, it's tropical and fruity. Like, you get so much pineapple. And as you can see, I've scraped the inside of this thing. I'm one of those people that when they get out of the shower, they have to moisturize. Otherwise they turn into like a scaly Gila monster. And overall, I feel like just adding that extra step into your morning routine is a bit of a chore. However, when your lotion smells this delicious, it's something you look forward to. Plus, it's a great moisturizer. It's not too heavy, and my legs always feel really soft and smooth after. I feel like for the winter, I need something a little more heavy duty, but for the 3 seasons out of the 4, this stuff slaps. It is so good. This bottle lasted me, I think, about half a year, and that was me using it generously every single day. All right, what next? I went through an entire one of these. This is the CoverGirl Plus Olay Simply Ageless Foundation. I think someone on TikTok many moons ago mentioned that this is a good dupe for the KVD Good Apple Foundation. Of course, the Good Apple Foundation looks sensational on camera, so I wanted to give this a shot. And I definitely got through the whole thing, scraped it down to the bottom. This was actually my show foundation for Smoky Mountain. It holds up pretty well under hot lights and dancing. It actually has pretty good longevity. It's got really nice coverage. You can kind of see this moisturizer swirl that once existed in there. The foundation feels really moisturizing, but not too thick or cakey, and it's that nice creamy texture. Plus it has SPF 28, which is a huge boon. Overall, I would probably recommend this foundation. It's definitely not my favorite. Shiseido is still taking the top spot there. No one has been able to unseat the Synchro Skin yet, but for a foundation that isn't $60 a bottle, it's a great find. Only gripe is that the shade range is hideous. There's like, I think maybe 10 shades. Most of them are white. I really hope CoverGirl gets on that because there's literally no excuse for that anymore. What next? Ooh, we've got some setting sprays. All right, folks, this is the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. It's got a little ball bearing in there. This drugstore of the drugstore setting sprays has unseated All Nighter for me. All Nighter is the one I usually go to when I'm in between trying new setting sprays and I'm in a Shoppers or I'm in a Sephora and I just don't have the time, but I know I need to refill. All Nighter was always the one for me. It works, it lasts, it makes my makeup stay all day. It does what it says on the bottle. So when I picked this up on a whim in a London Drugs, I will tell you, my mind was blown. And we all know Urban Decay's Mister is notoriously amazing. Ultra fine, lovely. I actually refill these bottles with just water and I use them to mist my plants. Life hack for you. But when I tell you that this mister will make you rethink the whole concept of mist. Get into it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's unfair. It is like going to a spa and being lightly misted with cucumber water. Plus the smell, so fresh. Also the sheer fact that e.l.f. really did that. e.l.f. was like, oh, you want ultrafine mist? Hold my beer. It's a fraction of the price. Go pick one up, thank me later. Okay, moving on. As per usual, there is more than one of these kicking around in my beauty trash. It is, for like the third year in a row, my go-to way of removing my makeup. This with a makeup eraser cloth works wonders. You can find it at the drugstore. It's fairly cheap. Plus it doesn't irritate my skin. Until someone invents a better option that is more affordable, I'm just gonna keep using it. Okay, this is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. I didn't get all the way through it, but I had to bin it because I bought this thing in like December of 2019. And as much as I love it, it's starting to have a bit of a funky smell underneath that peach scent. So it's definitely a lip balm that leaves your lips looking really glossy. It's not a lip balm that feels ultra nourishing, if that makes sense. Like a really intense balm always feels like you are giving your lips medicine in a way. You know, that ultra hydrating feeling, it's sinking into your crevices and it's just making everything feel soothed. This is like not as intense, but it's cute, it smells nice, and it tastes good. If that's what you're looking for, definitely recommend, although it is really dupable. Here we have the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors. It's okay, it's a moisturizer. It does what it's supposed to. Did it blow me away when I used it? No. It doesn't really sink into the skin like a water cream would. Ends up feeling a little bit like slip slidey on the surface, and it's not really a comfy feeling. If you're a person who's really sensitive to certain textures and sensory things, I would probably give this one a miss. I'd say there's better out there, maybe not at that price point. What am I in the middle of right now? Let me go pick it up. The night moisturizer I'm using right now is from First Aid Beauty. It is their firming collagen cream, I believe. The label's so worn off now that I actually can't read it. I still haven't hit the bottom yet, and I've had this for a few months now. The texture of this is really rich without being greasy. It's lovely. It's a little bit more expensive, but I'm definitely enjoying using this one a lot more. Let's jump to more makeup. This is the Fenty Pro Filt'r setting powder in the shade Butter. I'm pretty sure this is my second one, but these last you forever and a day. I swear to you, I've had this one for at least a year. I just replaced it not that long ago. My only gripe is the sifter. I, for the life of me, cannot get the last few specks of setting powder out of this thing. I'm too big a baby to like try and like pry this off the thing. I'm so afraid of like, I don't know, hurting myself or cutting myself doing it. It's not so big a gripe that I would actually go the extra mile to fix it, nor is it big enough a problem for me to seek out another setting powder, because this stuff is probably the best setting powder I've ever used. The texture of it is unmatched. It just does what it's supposed to. It sets my makeup beautifully. It doesn't make me look cakey. It doesn't emphasize my texture. In all the creasy spots, it really does a great job. And it works great at setting my under eyes. Plus the color is so good. It's just yellow enough that it offsets the red undertones in my skin. It has a really light powdery scent. I know Fenty's not the cheapest brand out there, but like one of these will last you an entire year. And I've yet to find one that I enjoy using more. So something else from Fenty. This is one of the refill capsules of the Hydrovisor, which is their broad spectrum SPF 30 daytime moisturizer. I loved this moisturizer. The scent is really lovely. It's light, it's not too overpowering. The stuff just glides right onto the skin. It sinks in, it doesn't leave any sticky residue. It's lightweight, it leaves your skin feeling clean, but also really moisturized. Plus the SPF 30 is great, especially during the daytime. Like you gotta use your SPF during the day, even when it's not sunny outside. Just do it. Thank me in 20 years. It isn't cheap, and they do have this system where you just buy the base and then you just buy refills. Supposedly it's supposed to create less waste, although I feel like with the refills being a plastic component, I feel like there's just as much waste here than if you had to throw out the entire bottle. So I don't know. I feel like that's a bit gimmicky for me. Plus, the refills are always sold out at Sephora. I could buy an entirely new bottle, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the refill cartridge. So while I'm waiting for those to restock, I had to pick something else up. So this is the Supergoop Play Everyday Lotion. My friend Cynthia recommended this to me, and this one has a higher SPF too. It's SPF 50 instead of 30. The smell is very herbal, medicinal, kind of a green smell. It's very glowy, which is lovely. The only thing I don't like about this formula is that it does leave kind of a sticky residue onto your skin. However, it is a fraction of the price of the Fenty Hydro Visor. Anyway, it's lovely. I would recommend too. Oh, let's grab, ooh, yeah, okay. This is the Kosas Super Creamy Brightening Concealer. Ooh, it never smelled good. It smells like blue cheese and has since I bought it, but the smell has only gotten worse as time went on. It has a shelf life of 6 months, and I would probably reduce that to maybe 4 or 5. Oh, because the smell is just bad. It's like paint and blue cheese mixed together. It is not cute. Even though I'm not like the biggest advocate for clean beauty, because I do believe that clean beauty is a bit of a fallacy, and that we actually should be using preservatives in our makeup and our skincare, because nobody wants bacteria and mold in their makeup and their skincare, just FYI. But I thought I'd give it a shot anyway, because why not? I was at the end of another tube and I needed to replace it, so I took a shot on it, and meh. Wasn't my favorite. I feel like all the shades lean really yellow, and not in a flattering way, like in a kind of jaundice sort of way. Yeah, this is supposed to be the shade 2.5C, which you would assume means cool tone. Is it any better than any other concealer I've ever tried? No. So I don't think I would pick this up again. Plus, it was kind of a waste of product because there's still plenty left in here. There's like a third left in the tube, and it went bad before I could even finish it. Bit of a thumbs down on that one. This is another one I probably mentioned in the last Empties video, which if you haven't seen it yet, I will link it up here. This is the CeraVe Hydrating Cream to Foam Cleanser. They have the original cream version still, but they did come out with a cream to foam hydrating cleanser with the same formula, just with more of a rich foamy lather. It's just really gentle, bare bones cleanser. It is not stripping, it is not drying. I can use it twice a day. A 355 milliliter bottle will probably last me about 3 to 6 months. For the price point, I feel like there's a lot of bang for your buck there. If I have makeup on, I will use this as a second cleanser after I have done the micellar water, and my skin always feels perfectly clean after, without feeling like I've just removed an entire dermal layer. And it doesn't dry me out, so win-win. I have a little beauty blender in here. Can anyone recommend me a better sponge for a cheaper price that is just as good, if not better? I have yet to find a sponge that I truly think can replace the beauty blender. I will tell you that a beauty blender, even though it is way more expensive than the average sponge you can just pick up at the drugstore for like $5, the thing about the beauty blender is that it lasts like 3 times as long. And before you go ahead and say the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, because I know they're great and you can get them in a pack of 2 at London Drugs, they start to deteriorate and break down after like 2 or 3 uses. And this is before you try and wash it the first time. And this is why I always go back to the beauty blender, because these things will last you 3 months. And that is with regular washing and regular use. I just can't find a sponge that is good enough, that will last as long, and that is more affordable. I haven't found it yet. If you have any recommendations, please let me know, because I'm so sick of shelling out $26 every time I need a sponge. Speaking of concealers that are worth the price, I nearly went through an entire tube of the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, which is fine. It is a good drugstore purchase. They've got a really nice shade range. I have a pretty decent amount of product left in the tube, and it started to go bad just at the very end. It started to like separate and stuff, so I had to bin it, which is unfortunate because I really did like it. I think you can overdo it really easily with this concealer though. You can't really layer it up. It does end up doing weird things like sloughing off and like leaving huge patches on your nose, but you excuse it because it's e.l.f. and it's cheap. However, let me tell you about Flower Beauty. This is something that I haven't picked up in a really long time. Boy, howdy was I missing out. I forgot just how amazing this concealer is. For drugstore, it rivals my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and that is my all-time favorite concealer. Texturally, finish-wise, Flower Beauty definitely trumps e.l.f. There's something really delicate about this formula that still gives you the coverage, that still gives you the brightening, but it's not cakey or thick. It's silky, it's satiny, it's just a win-win-win all around. plus you can get it at the drugstore, plus it's Drew Barrymore, and we love Drew Barrymore. So as far as drugstore concealers go, this, I think, at this point in time, is my all-time favorite. I already have another tube. Kosas can't even hold a candle to Flower Beauty. Go try that one out. Highly recommend. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Ooh, this is the Bath & Body Works Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte 24 Moisture Body Lotion. Listen, the body part of Bath & Body Works, it's almost an afterthought. It's not like this is the best formula you'll ever find in your life. However, the smell, oh my God. I think I described this in my 2020 favorites video as the smell of Christian girl autumn, and I stand by that statement. This is Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte, and it smells exactly the way you think it's gonna smell. It is so addicting that you will just use it and reapply it just to smell this glorious fall scent. I will pick up another one most likely. Am I gonna use it as my like go-to body moisturizer when I get out of the shower? Hell no. Is it the perfect secondary moisturizer to have at your desk when you just washed your hands for the 1000th time? Absolutely. And as you can tell, I used up the entire bottle. We're getting down to the bottom of the barrel here, so to speak. I have a couple of brow products here. So of course, Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4 has been my go-to micro brow pencil for years. Up until last December, have not been able to find a dupe for this one. And I've been searching for one because these guys ain't cheap. And I go through them like water, seeing as I only have half an eyebrow. The texture of this, the consistency, the way that it doesn't pill or bunch or go on too waxy, it is a really great pencil. However, I recently just got introduced to a little micro pencil from Maybelline, which I'm going to tell you about right now. This is the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim. Another recommendation from my good friend Cynthia. She's got my back, my God. If I can find a drugstore alternative to a Sephora product, I'm usually going to do that, especially with base products like concealer, brows, mascara, things that I have to use way more often than an eyeshadow palette or a highlighter. So having a drugstore product that completely rivals a higher end product, I'm always gonna pick the drugstore product. I'm wearing it today. I'm using the shade medium brown. It's basically a dead ringer for the formula of the Precisely My Brow, but I actually like it a bit more because it's just a little bit of a slimmer pencil, but it's not so slim that you're spending hours drawing in every single hair stroke. Plus it comes with a spoolie. Great spoolie. 10 out of 10. The other thing that I finally got through down to the bitter end is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I bought this back in 2019, and although the pencil side I ripped through in like a couple of months, it has taken me this long to finally finish the marker side. And I'm a little sad because this is the best brow marker I've ever used and they don't sell it separately, and it makes me mad. I don't want the pencil side of this one. I don't like the Urban Decay brow pencil. Their marker, perfection. It just draws on these beautiful little hairs and they look so good, especially when you combine it with a pencil or brow gel, which is what I do. If you've never seen how I actually accomplish my brows, I will leave the tutorial up here for you to enjoy. I wish they sold the marker separately. Urban Decay, please help a girl out. Oh, a couple of serums from The Ordinary. I use the Buffet Multi-Technology Peptide Serum as well as the Hyaluronic Acid. These are two serums I use twice a day, every single day. The Ordinary is great because the price point is so low for the ingredients that you get. They're kind of just bare bones skincare. There's nothing fancy about them. And you can get a pretty large quantity of it as well. And because I go through these so fast, I always get the bigger bottle. I find that hyaluronic acid serums are usually insanely overpriced and are usually just full of a bunch of other bells and whistles that I don't need. I just need the hyaluronic acid. I've been using them for over a year and I still really like them and would recommend. We're almost there. I'm almost there. Ah, the Lano Stick by Lana Lips. I loved this lip balm. Circling back to the topic of lip balms that feel like they're doing the work for you, this is one of them. This lip balm works hard for the money. It leaves them feeling soft and supple, but not overly glossy or sticky or greasy. You know how there are certain lip balms that would just be like kind of irritating and you'll just want to smack your lips together or lick them until the texture has gone away? This doesn't trigger that for me. It's really nice, really comfortable is the word I would use. The only problem is that Lana Lips typically is a little bit pricey, and this lip balm specifically doesn't give you a whole lot of product. I went through this probably in less than a month. So I probably wouldn't repurchase this particular product from Lana Lips again. However, and I've talked about this before on my channel, but the 101 Multi-Purpose Super Balm is pretty much the same thing, except it's not in stick form. It's just in a little tube and you just have to squeeze it out and use your finger, which some people are a little averse to these days. But I promise you, it is one of the most insanely, richly, intensely moisturizing balms that I've ever put on my lips. It really sticks around, it doesn't dissipate, it's comfortable. Plus you can use this on more things than just your lips. I sometimes use it on my knuckles when they're starting to crack and bleed from all of the many times I wash them at work. I'm just a huge fan. Total convert. Would highly recommend. Oh, this is something that Good Molecules sent me a while ago. This is the Yerba Mate Wake Up Eye Gel, and I loved this stuff. I squeezed it out to the very last, I rolled it up, and it is such a nice daytime eye cream. It felt refreshing without being irritating. I sometimes find that eye creams that are supposed to be brightening that have like vitamin C in them are just a little bit too intense for that ultra sensitive skin under the eyes for me personally. And sometimes they just leave my skin feeling a little inflamed, a little irritated. This stuff doesn't do that. And when I used it in tandem with concealer on makeup days, the makeup under my eyes always sat really beautifully. Good Molecules is another brand that is ingredient focused, that is at a really good price point. I'm on their PR list, so whenever I get something from them, I'm always so grateful because Good Molecules as a brand is actually kind of hard to find in Canada. I usually end up ordering it from like a third-party website just because the shipping is a little bit cheaper than ordering direct. But it's just kind of a pain. I kind of gravitate towards skincare that I can just pick up on my way home from work, or something that I can get shipped to my house for free. Good Molecules is just not one of those brands, and I'm kind of upset about it because I really like them as a brand and I would love to just get refills of these products, but they're just a little less accessible for me as a person living in Canada. So Good Molecules, if you could just start stocking at Sephora, that would be great. Thank you so much. Speaking of Good Molecules, this is their glycolic exfoliating toner. Love me a glycolic acid toner. As far as chemical exfoliants go, glycolic acid is the only one I use regularly. My skin just really loves it. And for some reason, I just really enjoy using it in toner form. I used to use the Pixi Glow Tonic. That was the first glycolic acid toner I got introduced to, which I really loved, but it was a little bit too overpriced for a drugstore product for my personal taste. Plus for me, it was just a little bit too heavily scented. The one I use the most frequently, and it's the one that is the most accessible to me, is the one from The Ordinary. It's unscented, it's got a great price point, and you can get these huge bottles. Let me show you. Look at this behemoth. So this is their 7% toning solution. You get 240 milliliters in this bad boy. And because I do go through it so quickly, I do enjoy picking up a larger quantity of it in bulk. Just that I'm not making so many frequent trips to the store. That's the only drawback to the Good Molecules glycolic acid toner. In every other capacity, I loved it. I loved using it. It felt great. I love that it's a glass component. Again, if Good Molecules was a brand that was more readily available in Canada, I would probably repurchase their products a whole lot more. But if Good Molecules is available where you are, absolutely recommend. Okay, we're at the bottom of the bin. It's kind of nasty in here, I'm not gonna lie. Ugh. Oh my god, no, I need to go wipe this off. Last but not least, I have the Clarins Instant Light Lip Comfort Oil. I love the shape of the doe foot. It's like this nice wide plush one. It just feels really nice when you apply it onto the lips. This is again one of those lip products that isn't a balm, but it isn't a gloss, so it's hard to find the right time to use it. It's also too sticky to use as an overnight treatment. It doesn't sink into the lips quite as fast as, say, the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, which is perfect for overnight because then you won't get stuck to your pillow. So I ended up only using this on occasion, even though I loved it so much, and then I just never got to the end of it because it went bad before I could finish it. It has a shelf life of 18 months, and if you can find a use for this every day, then you probably get through it, but it just wasn't that right consistency to use as a daily lip balm, although it had a really beautiful glossy finish. The only two drawbacks I could think of is that it is just a bit too sticky to use overnight or under a mask, and also it is a bit pricey, so it's not really worth it if you can't use it all the way up. I think I bought this back in 2017, so it was just time to say goodbye. And there you have it. That is all my beauty trash that I've accumulated in the last almost a year. I hope this was enjoyable for you because I literally couldn't think of anything else to record today. I do love just sitting down every once in a while and just being able to sit and chat as opposed to multitasking while applying makeup. Sometimes that can be stressful. And some weeks I don't have the mental energy. and I hope that's okay. Also, let me know if you enjoyed my couch setup. Let me know if you are familiar with any of the products I talked about today. I would love to know your opinions, your thoughts, any recommendations you want to throw my way. I do have a palette making its way to me currently. Hopefully it arrives soon so we can play with it together, and hopefully that will be next week's video. But in the meantime, leave your ideas for videos down below. I would love to hear any special requests for content, because as of right now, I don't have any ideas in the old tank. All right, I gotta go eat something, so I'm going to love you and leave you. But before I do, please let me rattle off the spiel to you. Here are the many ways that you can help out my channel. You can give this video a huge thumbs up. You can comment down below what you thought of everything. You can subscribe. Any and all engagement with this video is crucial to its success in the algorithm, so if you have a few spare seconds, please engage with this video. You can follow me on other social media. I will leave those right there. And I think that's everything. Bengal Spice, by the way, if you were wondering. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. And with that, folks, please stay safe, stay sane, wash your hands, wear a mask, stay home if you can, get vaccinated if you can, get boosted if you can. Just keep doing your best, and I will see you on the next one. Bye! Why does the truck have to be there right this second? You have to do this right now? It's a Saturday. No, it's a Sunday. Sunday, come on.